to get going, and it's Tiggs with a star for Kent.
And that looks like it's Matt Demon who will be facing off against him for the Brummies.
So Kent currently in Tier 2, Crash Test Brummies in Tier 1, and as mentioned earlier, the winner of this game will be in Tier 1 next season. Kent finishing second behind the Wirral Pack Animals in Tier 2 to earn their place in this promotion playoff.
So we are into the action, and that is our first lead jammer being awarded to Tiggs for Kent. Matt Demon just managed to get himself around. I believe that was Brute, our foremost blocker at that point, and your pivot. And Tiggs bagging himself some points and calling him jam.
Yeah, so first strike of the game goes to Kent. I'm not sure we say underdog, but the lower tier team for the time being. So Skate wins with his star for Kent up against Ripper for Crash Test Brummies.
Ripper, one of the vice captains for the Brummies, has had a great season, to be fair, and does come out as lead. And that is a very speedy star pass.
I believe that's Pro now with the star for Kent.
Ripper already up on a scoring pass, does get their hips around that blocker, and a very quick foreign call.
And we have a tie game. Ooh, exciting times.
Early doors, tied game. All the good stuff.
And it's HD with the star for Kent, the Horsemen of the Blockalypse. It's Darth Tato.
We do have some really top-notch skaters for both these teams. Tato knocked off and recycled by Spank Me Sideways, and a really solid 3-ball appearing from Kent.
Is Charlie with a star, not HD as previously advertised, so it's Charlie with lead jammer for Kent, and they're putting 4 points on the board to put them back into the lead and coming off their second scoring pass.
Tato still looking for that initial.
They didn't quite land that apex jump there, but they did recycle themselves so as to avoid the cut track penalty. Tato's still there, star in hand. And
he has reached a few times for Khazad Doom. However, he has slipped around the outside and completed that initial. However, that's now 3 scoring passes for Charlie and Kent.
Kent choosing to run the jam rather than call it off before Tato can pick up any points. Spank Me Sideways currently sat in the penalty box, so just trying to release their blocker so they don't start at a disadvantage. And here is Spank Me Sideways returning to the fray.
Returning to play and going straight in on the offense.
It's K-Train there, just holding up Tato there.
George Dawes looking for the run back. To apologise.
Sorry, Charlie's put a 4th scoring pass up on the board. Tato still on that initial. Sorry, the first scoring pass, not his initial pass.
And that is going to be the full 4 awarded to Tato. I was going to say, I do apologise, I missed George Dawes off as I was reading the roster reads. He is here. He is playing.
Ooh. What's the scores? George Dawes. That's right, I'm old enough to know what that is.
You and me both, mate, you and me both.
So Tiggs out there for the second time today. Vembo particular for the first time.
Great to see them back on track after carrying an injury for most of the season. Shifts going in with a nice bit of offense, well placed. However, that is a recycle from TC. Tiggs is lead, however, that is the outside line for Thembo.
Oh, Mr. Hazard taking tumble there, but straight back up onto his feet. Part of our announcing team. He will be.
Yeah, he's one of the many people pulling a double shift this weekend. And another example of that is Chief has just jam refed a game and is now skating.
And he also was part of a bench crew for Wiltshire earlier on today.
All right, Chief, pulling a triple shift. Go on then, mate.
Yeah, and say we have actually a Wiltshire skater skating for Crash Test Brummies, a Diamond Dodge, so a bit of frenemy going on there. I mean, it's impossible to dislike Chief in any way, shape or form. Loveliest human being you'll ever meet. I mean, I've tried, but I failed.
Thembo breaking through for a 4-point pass. Tiggs once again opting to run it, and of course, as I say that, calls the jam.
So I've seen Kent 3 times, I believe, this season. They were the Wirral Weekender earlier on, and they tended to do this, is to just run the jams. In fact, we have an official review.
We do indeed, called by the Brummies, so we will update you with that information, of course, when we have it. So while we're waiting to see what's going on, just going to take a look at kind of the season that the Brummies have had so far. They've had a
difficult season.
That's a fair wording. Their Five Nations season, they have they placed second. They placed 5th in their division in Tier 1. 171 to 410 to Borderland Bandits. 33 to Brummies, 444 to Tyne and Fear. 98 to Brummies, 448 to Inhuman League. And the final Five Nations game was 88 to Brummies, 451 to Southern Discomfort. But they've also hosted the Summer Smash tournament at the end of June, where they had some mixed success. Obviously, it was international games, really great tournament to be a part of. 136 to Brummies, 323 to DHR roller derby. They 184 to 185 to Cleveland Guardians, obviously from the US. And they took the win over South Wales Salios, 210 to 177 on the Sunday of that.
Looking at the last 2 results, a 1-point defeat and a win, you could say they're hitting form at the right time.
Absolutely, yeah. And the Guardians game on the Saturday evening was absolutely phenomenal. It just out of this world.
So just waiting to be advised by the people downstairs what the official review was for, but both jammers are still on track, so and all sets of blockers are on track, so I guess whatever the official review was for, it was unsuccessful. But here we have Diamond Dodge pulling double shift, having already played in that tremendous game earlier, Wiltshire versus Rebellion, which, if you haven't watched that, once this game's done, rewind and watch it. It is the game of the day so far. Escape Winslet with the start and the lead for Kent men, currently leading by 13 points. Diamond Dodge out of the pack now, eligible to pick up points, but I heard a jam whistle, but I must be on the other track as this jam is still very much in progress. And as Escape Winslet is out, Diamond Dodge skipped through there, but with a star at hand, so a lot of effort, but no points. The star is on ahead now, so they are now eligible to pick up points. Brute showing off his push-up skills there.
He's been training hard with England. Just up in the game all over.
Kent once again just running this jam when they have lead.
Actually, Skate Winslet opted to run the jam, however, has picked up a cut penalty. So the final moments of this jam as we move towards the last 30 seconds is going to be a power jam for the Brummies. Diamond Dodge working against those walls. Brummies going full offensive. The official review called by the Brummies requesting a block to the head or a head block on Kent's jammer. No call stands, so the official review is lost.
So Diamond Dodge trying to make the most of this free track time. Escape Winslet returns and sprinting round. Is there enough time to put up any points? Ooh, maybe just a couple. Obviously would have put some on the board before they went to the box.
Yeah, that's going to be the full 4.
And 3 on that pass for the crash test Brummies. So we say 12-11 jam to Kent's men. So, like I said earlier, it says Kent just try to run these jams, hoping to tire out the opposition and use their superior fitness. And we saw Brute doing some push-ups on track there, so we know they're a fit team.
Yeah. But I mean, the running of the jams is something that we're very familiar with from other Tier 1 teams like Time and Fear. I think it's becoming a more common tactic. So with Kent having spent the year sort of up in that kind of realm, or having competed at that level previously, I'm not overly surprised to see them kind of running these kind of things.
So Mr. Hazard heads into the penalty box here for the Brummies' first penalty of the game. So Matt Demon with lead, 4 points already on the board. Charlie now bearing down. Some points here. Yep, 4 points are up for Kent.
Beautiful footwork from Matt Demon there, getting around the pack. Matt Demon on the inside now for a scoring pass.
And that is another power jam to the Brummies. There's a cut track assessed against Charlie.
And this is absolutely what the Brummies are looking for. There's just 6 points separating the teams at the moment. Brummies currently on a 12-point jam with Kent with their jammer in the box.
There's one blocker to get past. That's Pro, who gets a blocking out of bounds penalty there. So that's one less blocker for Matt Demon to deal with on their next route around the track as Charlie has returned to track. Skip on the apex there. And we have a lead change.
47 plays 45 as we come into the end of this jam.
So I think, yes, Charlie got a second cut track penalty right at the end of that jam, so it will be a power start to the crash test Brummies, who now currently lead the game.
And that 23-point jam is going to be our highest scoring jam of the game so far for either team.
I was going to say, is it the highest scoring jam of the day? But then I saw Sinn Féin score 24 points for Belfast earlier. So, but
I was going to say, I think given the score I saw on the board for London, I reckon there may have been some high-scoring jams there.
I think the highest scoring jam in that one was a 20-point jam, possibly. I mean, I was commentating on it, so I should remember, but
there's been a lot of roller derby today.
So I'm just going to be confidently wrong, if nothing else. So it's a official review now to the Crash Test Brummies. So 10 minutes gone, and each team has used an official review. Just
this one being Kent's official review.
So Kent, it was Kent's official review, was it? Sorry, I thought it was. Okay, but say, in contrast to for Brummies, Kent have had quite a good season. Won every single game they've played in the Five Nations, with the exception of a 50-point loss to Wirral Pack Animals, who took the tier of 100%. That came as a surprise to me. I watched the game. I mean, it was a fair result, but I was shocked from a Wirral liking perspective, as my partner skates for Wirral. So, but
a touch of the old bias there.
I try to be as impartial as possible until the final whistle goes.
There you go. That's all we ask is the impartiality as the game is in action. If you have a role that requires the impartiality, if you're just watching, then it's all fair game.
So just waiting the official review.
We'll update you with that information as it comes through. So just to remind you, we are starting on that power jam situation for the crash test Brummies. Ripper taking a big hit from Brute coming around turn 2. Quick recovery, back on track and going one-on-one, but does manage to stay upright and in bounds coming round that turn to complete that score, that initial pass, my apologies. We are one blocker down with George Dawes in the box.
So Brummies now in a position to actually add to their lead. They've taken the lead and now they're in a position to actually add some points on there. But Charlie from the box is out and now eligible to pick up points of her own as Ripper sent sprawling to the infielder. Wisely calls the jam before Charlie can put anything on the board.
Looks like Herbs has picked up a penalty right at the end of that jam as well. So he's going to have a seat, although he is the sole blocker. Okay, so update for you on that Kent official review. Kent were looking for a cut track to be issued to Matt Demon, and no called stands. Official review lost. So that's our official reviews done and dusted for our first half. Nice to get them out of the way early.
Yeah, so not even halfway through the first half yet. So I was 3 points to the crash test Brummies on that half, so they now have a 5-point lead, and Tiggs with the lead for Kent, and it is a power jam as Darth Tato goes for a sit and think about what he did, joining Herbs in the penalty box. Tiggs now brings him back within 1 point, if my mental maths is correct. Yes, it is.
53 plays 52 in favour of the Brummies.
Now, will Tiggs run the jam, or will they call it early to keep the jammer in the box? Looks like they're going to run it. Oh, no, they're going to call it early.
And that has frozen Tato in the box.
So a power jam start now to Kent, who have just retaken the lead.
Giving themselves a little bit of breathing space. 3 points, still absolutely surmountable, nothing at all in it. But I mean, having a quick look at the penalty board in front of us, while it feels like there's been a bit of action, really nothing at all. We've got
one player on 2 penalties.
Yeah, 1 player on 2 penalties. We've got 4 penalties for the Brummies, 5 penalties for Kent, and they're very well spread out.
I get the feeling we're in for a tactical chess match in this one. As Skate Windsor does take lead as Darth Tato returns to track. Oh, in fact, it is a power jam now to the crash test Brummies.
Yeah, that's...
So, is lead open? Well, if it was, it's not anymore because Tato has taken the star off his head. So we will have a full 2 minutes in this jam. Tato there coming up against the shoulder of Smack Me Sideways.
It's not a good place to be as a jammer.
Skate Winslet back on track and up the inside line there.
Really great penalty kill by Kent.
So yeah, had over a minute and no points yet registered on the board. I mean, Tato is picking up points as we speak, but there is Skate Winslet out of the pack, and those points are on the board. And Kent now lead by 7.
Down to 30 seconds remaining of the jam. Tato still looking to complete that first scoring pass, and Skate Winslet has just completed their second.
Tato thought he was out, but just sent to the outside by Beskidrock, I believe.
Beskidrock, a real seasoned skater, has been with Kent for a very long time. Absolutely solid blocker, even as he heads to the penalty box. I will stand by that. He really is an absolute workhorse of a blocker. Big fan of his work. So 12-point jam there for Kent. Sees them 11 points ahead. Still absolutely nothing. It's considering some of the score lines we've seen today, and some of the score lines these two teams have had this season. It's a drop in the ocean.
Absolutely. Tis but a jam.
Nice. I like that a lot.
So Thembo Party Killer, I believe, up for the second time today.
A couple of penalties being issued to
Hardest Kales and K-Train, I believe.
yes.
So that allow Thembo a lot of space to work with and take the lead for Brummies.
And that is leader awarded to Thembo. Already coming round on a scoring pass. Charlie still looking for the initial.
So is it Thembo Party Killer? Because I've always been saying Thembo. So
Yeah, Thembo.
Thembo. I apologise, Thembo. I have mispronounced your name all this time.
It's a play on like a himbo.
Oh.
So like them as in they, them.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
It's not a reference I'm familiar with. So.
You know about himbos, right?
No?
It's male bimbo.
Oh, I did not know about that.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day. I learned something.
Yeah, if you see if you see like a buff guy who's a bit of a ditz,
Oh,
he's a himbo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to incorporate that in my vocabulary going forward.
There you go. Some impressive footwork from Charlie, managing to stay on her feet from taking some big hits from Mr. Hazard. Does take a recycle, and Thembo calls the jam. I noticed points scored, and that sees Brummies taking the lead very nicely, 69 to 68. So incredibly close. Just, do you know what? I wasn't really sure what to expect with this game. Both of these teams super tenacious, and it's immensely close, and I'm so enjoying this. We hope that you're enjoying it at home as well. Please do post in the Discord chat if you are watching along with us, and let us know what you think.
So takes into lead jammer there for Kent. Diamond Dodge with a star for Crash Test Brummies.
Brute taking a seat in the penalty box. One blocker down.
Diamond Dodge has passed the star, so it's Kazard Doom with the staff now for the Crash Test Brummies. And still on their initial pass, which isn't where you want to take the star. You ideally want to take it out of the pack. There you go, that's where you want the star.
Good work, Doom.
And it is hard work getting out there. Tiggs now racking up 12 points. Gone from a 1-point game to an 11-point game. But where Kazard Doom putting up 4 points in response here for Brummies.
Do you know what? Second time I've seen this today. Jammer, obviously knowing that they're planning to call and making a point of going into the pack hips first.
Yes.
To maximise the opportunity to get those points. Because of course it's the hips that count on the points. It's your hips passing the opposition's hips. and it's just really good to see that sort of pack awareness from our jammers and our skaters. It's just wanted to give that props to Tiggs and to other skaters who kind of have that switched on knowledge.
The nous. It's always good to highlight the intelligence of the sport, because you think people smacking into each other, you don't think there's a lot of tactics behind it, but there
absolutely
is a lot of thought goes into it. And it's a power jam now. Matt Demon going for a sit down. Charlie with 30 seconds and the lead jammer. 10 points separating the two teams.
Charlie having a fantastic game if we're talking about giving people props. Of course, I was speaking with Jugger this morning on the 7 Valkyries game. Obviously, jammers are great, but it's the blockers who make them look great in many ways. But the footwork and the skills that Charlie has put on display has been absolutely phenomenal so far. It's real joy. I've not seen a skate before. Very impressed.
This is news to me as well, but in fact, it is the reason for that. It's the first game for the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Superb. Keep at it.
Welcome from MRDA. You're going to have a great time by the looks of things.
Duke was mentioning earlier, we think that she may be dual rostered with Kent's roller derby, the Wifter team.
Yeah.
If so, then she's obviously come from great stock, because the women's team have been doing brilliant things for a number of years.
So Skate Winslet picking up the lead. That's at least 3 leads in a row, possibly for Kent now, starting to 3, correct? Wow. I remember some things. If I can count it on one hand, I can probably remember it. So Kent now starting to pull away a little bit, 14-point difference, and star pass there. Khazad-dûm once again with the star, picked up a few points last time they had to start.
It wasn't necessarily a really slick star pass, but it was subtle enough that it wasn't picked up straight away and gave space for Doom to just race out.
So he didn't have all the hard work to do that he did last time, so wish he'll be relieved there. Well, now he's engaging in the hard work.
But at least the jammer who passed the star is now coming back to help.
Yeah, that's always nice.
It's like I saw I left you. I saw I gave you this gift that you don't really want. Let me help you with that.
So, somewhat critically, Skate Winslet running the jam. Both jammers out neck and neck at this point in time, but Skate Winslet has 3 scoring passes to Khazad-dûm's 1. So that's a 22-point difference. That's the biggest lead we've seen in this game so far today, isn't it?
I think it may well be. I'm getting a nod from Duke Special.
But again, it is a big lead in terms of his game, but it's probably the work of 2, maybe 3 jams. You can claw that back. So 7 minutes left in the first half, and a full 30 minutes to go after that.
That's an absolutely manageable differential, especially if you compare it to, again, some of what we've seen so far today. Darth Tato and Tiggs starting with the star for us in this next jam, jam 14.
So whenever I see Darth Tato, I always think of that reel that the Brummies did with him parodying The Shining, with him skating down the corridor, coming up against G and Smack. So
it was a fine reel.
Come skate with us, Taito. That's all I ever hear in my head is come skate with us, Taito. I can't do a Brummie accent, I think we've established that. Anyway, Tiggs took lead, put some points up, called a jam, so it's now 103, taking them past the century point, 278. So Brummies need a lead jammer status and fast, I think.
Yeah, need to start pulling those points back. It's obviously sort of perception and sort of and such, but there's something about seeing those triple digits that makes it seem so much bigger differential than it is.
Yes. Is that a power? Yes, a cut track penalty against Charlie. So Thembo now has the chance to take lead. And
shrugging off blockers left, right and centre. And they are awarded lead.
Now what can they do with it? Kent speeding to the front of the pack with Brummies not following until, well, they are now.
Very loose pack. Charlie is standing in the box.
And Vembo calls it. Charlie will stay in the box, but not for very long. Less than 10 seconds on that penalty. Just 1 point picked up on that jam for Vembo and the crash test Brummies. So it's still a 24-point game in favour of Kent. And it is Diamond Dodge out for the third time today for the Brummies. Put in a heck of a shift for Wiltshire earlier. I can't stress this enough. After this game, go back and watch Wiltshire versus Rebellion if you haven't already. And Diamond Dodge straight out. Treat yourself. Yeah, get yourself like a nice pizza. Put the fire on. Get the cat on your lap. If that's your thing, maybe you like dogs. You know, some people are weird. Anyway, Charlie is out of back, but Diamond Dodge has lead for Brummies.
Really solid blocking from Kent there on the outside.
So I believe that's 3 points, is it? Yep. So although Brummies have had 2 leads in a row, they have only picked up 4 points without reply in the last 2 jams. So excellent defensive work from Kent. I believe we've got an official timeout.
Looks like there was a penalty issued off the back of that. I think our timeout may be as a result of injury. So we are just going to take a few moments to ensure that everybody is well. Of course, the safety and well-being of all of our skaters, officials and volunteers is absolutely paramount, and that's why we always have our medics on hand. So while that's happening, there was something we were looking at because we approached all of the teams with kind of a set of questions, fun facts, if you will, about which we may be able to speak on such occasions as these for timeouts and things. And there was something that I spotted from Kent. And one of the questions that we asked all of the teams was, what has been your team's highlight of the Five Nations season this year? And Kent's highlight really touched me. It was their response was watching Barrow Infernos come back to competitive play.
That was a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, and the fact that for Kent that was as a collective that was their highlight, I think speaks volumes to the community of the sport, and just absolutely wonderful. Because obviously, if you're aware, Barrow Infernos at one point it looked like we may lose them as a team. Post lockdown, their numbers dwindled significantly.
Yeah, they were a powerhouse at one point in time.
Absolutely. But they have managed to rebuild, and they're doing incredibly well. So it's been really great to see them come back to some really great form and have such a great season. And on the subject of community and sort of love. and just kind of that close knit and the support and everything, and it goes both ways. We would like to send some love to you, Swearwolf, because we really do miss you. She should be here with us this weekend, but she is ill. She is at home with the ills, and she wants to send some big love to all of the fantastic officials working this weekend. And we have we have officials of international renown here this weekend, facilitating these games. Across the board, we have people of varying levels of experience. Some people who this may be their first playoffs event, and of course this is the 10th year of playoffs.
Oh, wow.
So there'll be some people here who this is their first ever playoffs, and we have some people here who have worked World Cups this year. I am the filling of a World Cup sandwich right now, because both of my cohorts were in Austria at the Women's World Cup this year.
Had an all right time.
Well, one of them was at the World Cup, and the other one had been selected to work the World Cup. So I still count that as a World Cup sandwich.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic talent across the board, officiating, announcing, volunteering, and skating.
Mr. Hazard, who skated for Crash Test Brummies, was also there as an announcer.
Yep.
And Herbs, I believe, did the Junior World Cup in Australia. Yeah.
Yes, he what one? I believe he was he was in Austria as well, wasn't he?
I don't think. Yeah, he was in Australia. So if he was in Austria, I completely repressed him being there.
In that case, I believe the only person in this building who did both is actually on our crew at the moment, and is Dinosaurus.
Oh, wow.
Refereed both the Women's World Cup in Austria and the Junior Roller Derby World Cup in Australia. Props to you, young sir.
That's some air miles.
Right? Absolute champion. I'm not sure how old Dinosaurus is now, but I know they have been reffing since they were a junior official. I know they're quite tall now, but they were smaller. So you'll get to see some absolutely top quality junior roller derby tomorrow. And it's one of those kind of, sounds corny, but children of the future kind of things.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Dinosaurus is definitely one of those who highlights juniors being both top quality as skaters and officials.
Was the first playoffs when we had the Tier 3 in Birmingham? We had just one day at the Birmingham futsal, was it?
I think you may be correct. Because quick 101 for you for this format.
So I think there was 2 different playoffs that year.
Yeah, so this tournament, as you know it now, Five Nations Roller Derby, started as a mere 6 teams in 2012 as the end of the World Series, because the end of the world was supposed to end in 2012 as per the Mayan calendar. 6 teams in the Midlands. I believe it was Oxford Roller Derby, Rebellion, Bedfordshire Roller Derby, Hells Bells, Vendetta Vixens, and Milton Keynes Roller Derby. And
good knowledge of that. I can confirm you were not reading this out. You were off the back of your eyelids.
Thank you. The following year, it grew to 12 teams, which was the first year of the Heartland Series. The year after that, it was 24 teams, and it was Heartland Series East and West. And then it grew into British Championships, where we started having North, South, East and West regional divisions. The following year, I believe, was when we started introducing men's teams. And then it was different tiers.
Yeah, it just really got out of hand after that point, didn't it?
And we had a couple of seasons of that, and then it grew into, and then we shut things down for COVID, understandably, and then we had in 2022 the Five Nations Showcase, or the Welcome Back Showcase, and then 2023 we kicked off Five Nations proper. So it's been going.
Yeah, if that was a first playoffs, say I was an NSO with that, I didn't even have a derby name. I was in the program as my actual name, and
Liam.
Yeah, and so I stood very close to you when I was lineup tracking.
Hey.
And it's the most stressful experience of my life is lineup tracking.
Lineup tracking stressful.
It is stressful, and so,
do you know what? It's actually lineup penalty tracking is actually easier.
Yeah, penalty tracking in the middle, because you can ask for referees. So what one was that for?
Yeah.
And
So just to give you a quick update on the stoppage situation, from the looks of things, it looks like Dodge may have been the injured skaters, but she has left the track of her own volition. So it looks like everybody's lining up to start again. So we will be getting underway very shortly. Thank you for bearing with us, and hopefully story time with Old Man Snooks hasn't been too boring for you folks. But yeah, I am Derby old. I've been doing this for a while, and I've seen a lot of things. But yeah, so this format, Five Nations, Brit Champs, etc., has been going for a long time.
If I remember correctly, the teams played 3 games in that same day, because I think it was Blitz Dames against the Rollerbillies in the final.
Something like that, yeah.
I remember the the Rollerbillies semi-final was one of the best games of roller derby I've ever seen. Duke is nodding. Right.
Yeah. She remembers.
I remember.
But no, it's... And obviously we've shouted out the officials, we've shouted out our wonderful cohorts, and huge props to those behind the scenes. Our Five Nations leadership. I believe our leadership this year is Sticks and Sonar, Valks and Warpgen. They're our directors, I believe, at the moment. You would not even begin to understand the amount of stuff those 3 people do.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
On top of their day jobs.
Yes, and I promise you those 3 women have not the most straightforward day jobs. And they will all probably kick me for waxing lyrical about them. But no, they're brilliant people who give so much of their time to this sport. And just, they're very much pay no attention to the people behind the curtain. And they do it because they love it and they want to see things progress. And we love them for it.
We do love them for it.
And
we get to do this?
We do.
I guess just swan in, put a microphone next to my head and just talk, all because other people put in the hard work for me.
Yeah. And
Duke's nodding, says yes, I worked really hard to make you look good.
She did. The info deck we've had from our tournament head announcers has just been phenomenal.
I mean, not just the information, aesthetically it's beautiful as well.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. And lastly, we get to tell you all about it because of our wonderful stream hosts, Real-Time Events, who are just absolute pros, and we adore them. So let's talk more about roller derby on the wonderful stream they are providing for us.
Yeah, we love you, Nick and Andy.
Yeah, you. I can see you.
And Andy can hear us, Nick can't. I'm just going to show Nick the heart from distance. She's not looking.
She's not looking.
Oh well. Game on.
However, right now, Tiggs, as we get back to things, is your lead jammer. Matt Damon is in the penalty box, although he's now being released. So this has been a power jam for Tiggs. Matt Damon getting back on track along with Pro, who was also serving a penalty for Kent. Oh, nice bit of juking there from Damon to get himself around Brute. Yeah, that was impressive.
Wow, that's just showing off, that is.
What's that?
Just a pivot and going in, hips first.
That's what I'm saying. These jammers, they've got it. They're going in backwards.
But he got a point, and that's the main thing. So every point counts, and I get the feeling, although it's a 30-point game now, every point is going to be essential in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 minutes left of this half. As you said before, still a full 30 minutes to go. We've only got 30 points between them. Every point is going to count. Skate Winslet with the slickest run along the inside line. Dr. Obloknik was very close to the line, but wasn't fully covering it, and you can't leave more than an inch of space for someone like Skate Winslet. You just can't. However,
it's now a power jam. So space for him in the penalty box as Ripper is through. 4 points on the board for Brummies. Just what they need.
Skate Winslet also joined by General Payne, so one less blocker for Ripper to contend with. Should make it easier. However, K-Train is also on track as well, and he is another formidable blocker, along with Hard as Kales and TC.
So Ripper now on their third scoring pass of a power jam as Skate Winslet is released into the wild. TC trying to give Ripper a bit of a shove there. Oh, it's a second power jam now, judging by the body language. Skate Winslet is into the boxes, 12 points put on the board. 5 crash test Brummies, exactly what they need at this stage in the game, really.
Absolutely. 16-point jam so far for the Brummies.
And on this pass, they will pass the century point. Well, assuming they get past everyone. It's very loud in here, isn't it?
It is.
I've got headphones on, I'm nowhere near the crowd, and it's still very loud. It's now just a 10-point game.
Coming into the final seconds of this half, period clock has elapsed. Ripper taken off to the infield, says, I'm just going to take a moment.
So just as the game looked like it might be getting away from the Brummies, they've just dragged it back in to set up beautifully the second half.
Second highest scoring jam of the game, 22 points. This is what we mean. It can all change in a jam. 11 points in it.
So yeah, 3 points to set to Kent there. So wow, that sets us up nicely for the second half, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely stonking stuff. Folks, we are going to take a bit of a break. We will see you back here in about 12 minutes.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, for a recap. And we'll get back into the conclusion of this pretty fantastic game of roller derby.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I am excited.
See you in 12 minutes.
Thanks, folks. Hello, friends.
Greetings.
Greetings, Earthlings. We are back, and it is getting towards the end of what has been quite a long day. So we may make less sense than we usually do. And we apologise for none of it. We have some stats for you before we get into the second half.
Vital statistics.
Yes. Sorry, you've just given me a massive throwback there. Kent have 66% of the leads. Is that what I'm reading here? Thank you. Tiggs is your highest scoring jammer for Kent, and Matt Damon is your highest scoring jammer for Brummies.
Wow.
Love me some stats. I am just not a mathematically minded person able to produce the stats myself, so I adore my statistically minded friends. Thanks, pals.
Numerically challenged stats nerd.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Also, just to update you from the stoppage that we had previously, because I personally think it's important to discuss all aspects of the game. It wasn't Dodge who was injured. Dodge was ejected for an egregious contact coming into the pack. I'm not 100% sure who it was who was injured, so I won't comment on that. But essentially, Dodge will no longer be skating the rest of the game because they have been removed. So we get back into the action. Scores on the doors, if you will recall: Brummies 105, Kent 116, and Brummies Kent Tiggs picking up a very speedy lead jammer on what is now a power jam as Matt Demon takes a seat in the penalty box.
So a massive jam at the end of the first half to drag Brummies back into it, and now it's a dream start to the second half for Kent with lead and the power jam.
Yeah, that was kind of ticking all of the boxes.
Yes, if you were going to ask Santa for a perfect start to the second half,
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas came earlier this year, didn't it?
Better not. Sorry.
It's not Halloween yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have some strong feelings about the winter festive season. Tiggs picking up a third scoring pass by mistake. Matt Damon is out of the box. Takes a big hit from Spanky sideways and another one.
Just the agility to stay in bounds and on his feet there is just incredible. I mean, Keanu Reeves required CGI for that stuff, but that was real. You saw it with your own eyes.
Yeah, saw it here first. Tiggs now taking a seat in the penalty box. So this jam will run for its full duration. That is going to be a cut. Matt Damon going for a skip along the inside line, but does get taken off. Recycles himself. Warnicorn running with the offense.
Very sedate jamming style from Matt Damon there. Clearly works.
Yeah,
just that little burst of pace there.
Does the job.
Yeah, there's no point tiring yourself out. Just be economical.
Couple of seconds left. Once again.
Showing the hips.
Yeah.
The hips
they don't lie. And it worked. Bagged a couple of extra points. 112 ending that jam to 128.
Considering how the jam started, if you told the Brummies you'll get out of this with only a 5-point differential, they would have taken that, I reckon.
Yeah. Warnicorn Stampede ending that jam in the box. We do have a blocker in the box for Kent as well, so we'll be starting the next jam with a 3-on-3 pack. Though we are having an official timeout. Looks like our medics are just having a conversation.
Some additional points were assessed to Kent then, so it is now a 20-point game.
132 now to 112. Just getting that updated.
It's like you say, now that the Crash Test Brummies have got the 3 digits on the board, it looks a much closer game than it did when it was this differential, but they were only had to double digits. So Tato heading to the bench. So it is a power jam start for Kent. A blocker apiece in the box. Matt Damon with an illegal contact penalty. So 20-point game and a power jam start to Kent. Skate Winslet with the start.
Big hit from Mr. Hazard straight off the line. And Harkness just with a tiny follow-up check. But it is enough to force Winslet off track and recycle. And we've got this really nice sort of tandem. Yeah. Almost sort of like, right, you take him off, I'll take him back. And managed to get that sort of like 2 or 3 times before Skate Winslet was able to get through, resulting in quite an effective penalty kill. Both jammer and blocker for Brummies are now out of the box. Pro taking a seat for Kent. So the advantage will be pack advantage will be for the Brummies as we go into the next jam.
I say I like how the Brummies jammer, whose name I've just forgotten, used Warnicorn Stampede basically as a shield to just push up the inside line there, sneak behind your blocker, get out of the initial pass without having to make any contact with the opposition blockers. Job's a good one. Tiggs up against Matt Damon, and Tiggs is out for lead for Kent. The third successive lead. There's a power jam, in fact. Matt Damon
with a forearm.
So 3 power jams in 3 jams in the opening jams of the second half.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But definitely not where the Brummies want to be.
Oh, that's a big hit there from George Dawes, but takes springs straight back to his feet.
Interestingly,
But illegally apparently, so we have a jammer switcheroo.
Interestingly, obviously the Kent are in the lead, 140 to 112 as it currently stands. They are leaning over with a higher penalty count, 19 to 11 penalties at the moment, but managing to not translate that into a score deficit.
Yeah, but I think it's worth pointing out how penalty light the Brummies have been in this game. So they've had 11 penalties in the game, and I think 3 of those have been in the second half. So at half time, they had 8 penalties.
Yeah.
Given last time I commentated on them in Sheffield, which well, less said about that, the better. So
they have the potential to be a penalty-heavy team. Their jammers can be penalty-heavy, and I think that's possibly what we've seen so far here, and that's why we're looking at quite the differential we have.
So four of those 11 penalties have been Matt Demon, who is a jammer. Darth Tato had a cut track. So about half their penalties have come from jammers. And there's another one.
That's a 5th penalty for Matt Demon.
So four jammer penalties in the second half for the Brummies. I think 19-point jam there to Kent. An official review to Kent, I believe.
Of course, once there is information about the review, looks like I believe it's the Brummies who's called it from indication of the hand signals with our jam timer. And as I say, once we have that information with regards to what the call is, we will provide that to you. Got a nice little system going with our house announcers, providing the information digitally via Discord.
Okay then. Duke will write it down on a nice piece of paper for us, and then we will read it out to you.
We've come a long way since 2017 MRDA champs, when we had Bucket God.
I quite like the idea of translating into a medium of interpretive dance. And
I mean, that's always the aim. Sort of like somebody in the middle just does a quick bust a move. We have to figure it out.
So a shout out at halftime came. We got some love on my personal Facebook from Cyborg and Niels. I'm sorry, Niels, I'm not sure what your skate name is. Skaters for Sus down in South Wales, giving us for love. So,
thanks, pals.
We love you too.
Much appreciated.
So,
friends.
Welsh friends.
Love to see it.
So now the official's going to have it. Diolch yn fawr iawn, Sus. Yeah.
Love it. Multilingual. Thank you for taking that. I probably could have figured it out, but it would have taken me a while.
Well, yes, I suppose, I should know the language of my own country. But,
you should. No pressure, like.
Yeah, dwi'n siarad tipyn bach Cymraeg, ond...
Do you want to call the next jam in Welsh?
No. I left my World Cup cheat sheet at home.
Were you able to do some calls in Welsh?
I did do some calls in Welsh, but the game got too exciting and the Welsh went out the window.
That's fair.
Yeah, but what I did do was blooming awful.
No, that's really cool. It's I know it's something that has been attempted over the years, being able to bring multi-language calls. I know when I was at the 2014 Women's World Cup, announced with a great guy, Brad Example, and we called a game where Germany were playing, and he speaks a fair amount of German, and he took a couple of jams where he did out solo, and he called the jams in German. Just so much fun.
Yeah, it's like having tried to do it in Welsh, I really appreciate how difficult it is to do in a second language. Like, say, I'm reasonably good at German, but I would still struggle to do it. So you have people at the World Cup who were doing it in their second or third language as well as. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Big props.
So we don't know yet what the official review is, but Matt Damon is still in the box. So I assume they failed. But Charlie now with the star for Kent and is out for lead. Blame my appeal is the note handed to me by Duke Special there, which of course means, where is the ball?
I was going to say, is this where is the ball? Well, I mean, we had one at Summer Smash. Very, nobody expected it. But it answered the question.
If we are going down the Welsh route, we've got Trev, who is on the MRBA team Wales team. I believe we've got another couple. We've got Chief there as well. So many Welsh people represented in Kent.
We've also got Matt Damon, who is Team Wales training squad.
I was going to say, I thought is Matt Damon Team Wales, but
and Charismatic, who's not skating today, but does also skate for Brummies, also plays for Tiger Bay and played for Wales at the World Cup.
Played exceptionally well for Wales at the World Cup. I had the pleasure of covering the Wales games, and Caris was a standout performer. My first ever roller derby game, I saw Caris in a sports hall in Shrewsbury skating for Neath Port Talbot.
Wonderful.
Against Evolution Roller Derby. Neither of his teams exist. Well, Evolution still exists. They just haven't skated for about 10 years. But
it's the thought that counts.
Anyway, nice.
That is a star stash from Matt Damon, which does see him through the pack.
See, Charlie picking up 12 points. And how many they picked up on that pass before calling the jam? I mean, it's just an example of a camaraderie in roller derby. You beat 7 bells out of each other, but you always check that you're all right at the end of it, and everyone smiles and hugs.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. That's a 13-point jam at 168 to 116. At Kent really now starting to pull away. Do they have 1 foot in Tier 1? Yeah, we've had less than 9 minutes in the second half. Probably too early to say that, but Darth Tato takes lead for Brummies.
So just an update for you on that official review from the last jam. Brummies were looking to upgrade the direction penalty on Black 6-6 to an expulsion. No call stands and the official review is lost. So that is to say that the penalty remained, but it wasn't upgraded to an expulsion. So 2 points apiece in that last jam, 118 to 170. And we're going to get into the next one for an empty penalty box, Thembo Party Killer and Skate Winslet.
That's a 52-point differential, biggest lead we've seen of the game so far. So Matt Damon has an 85% lead in all jams.
He's just done 85% of all the jams this half.
Oh right, of his half. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Matt Damon is a demon in the best possible way.
Thembo is your lead jammer.
I think that's 2 leads in a row for Brummies now. But didn't manage to eat into the differential in the last jam, so what can I do with it this time? Star stash my Skate Winslet. Up the inside line there. Thembo calls a jam before they put any points on the board. High fives among the Kent blockers. How many points have they? It was 4 points on that pass to Thembo. A good return. I believe Ripper is actually on the Wales squad as well. So It's not written on here, but I'm pretty sure, if memory serves correctly.
Maybe they're keeping it close to the chest.
Maybe, and I've just doubted them.
Yeah, you've just blown that cover.
I have. I regret many things. So Charlie trying to take the inside line there after fooling everyone and thinking they were going up the outside.
Hardest Chaos with a deep recycle on Ripper there. But they do get out as lead. Charlie is not too far behind them though. Looks like sights are locked and loaded.
I don't know, but is this the first time Charlie hasn't taken lead when they've been jammer for Brummies?
I think it might be.
I mean, I'm just going to be confidently wrong and say yes, if necessary. In this
yes,
half,
in
yeah.
this half.
So that jam finished 0-0. So Brummies have had 3 lead jams in a row, but on 2 of those 3 occasions, the scores have been level, and the other time is 4 points. So Kent managing the game quite well.
Some of our wonderful officials.
The man in the centre of the screen, I accidentally christened as We're All Jesus when we were in Limoges before. So
that's fantastic.
That's Alchemy of the Pack Animals, a gold medalist in Tier 2 this year. So.
Yeah, we're all about a fantastic year.
Oh yeah, considering they didn't exist 18 months ago, and now they've had 2 successive promotions.
Yeah, and another team that have reformed and rebuilt.
The fact, Chris, so Alchemy there, was one of the major architects behind reforming the team, and it was a case of, if you build it, they will come, where they just said, right, we've got a few people, like, let's pad it out with the WFTDA team, get the games on, and then the MRDA team grew and grew and grew, and now, have people like Don Gingiovanni joining them, so and they're in tier 1 next season. From nothing to tier 1 in 2 years. It's just incredible.
Love to see it.
But enough about Wirral. This is about Kent and Crash Test Brummies.
It absolutely is. We have Darth Tato and Tiggs. Tato looking for the hop on the outside is shut down, and Tiggs is through. Tato with some fancy footwork. Not sure if they've been called. They have been called for a penalty. Tiggs with some footwork of their own.
So there's a cut track there by Darth Tato. Only their second penalty of the game.
Yeah, it is only Tato's second penalty. However, jammer penalties really is the story.
Especially the second half.
Yeah, of the second half of this game for the Brummies. Some solid blocking from the Brummies, but some beautiful offense from Kent. Sees Tiggs through for another scoring pass.
Tiggs was Kent's top scorer in Tier 2 this season. 4th overall for the division, but
not surprised.
It's a very high-scoring division.
Yeah. Tiggs is another member of Kent who's been around for a fair amount of time, and just has gone from strength to strength.
According to my list, also another Welshman.
There we go.
So many Welsh people in Kent. I mean, it's not exactly close to Kent. How did so many Welsh people end up there? What are the Welsh up to in Kent? That's what I want to know.
Liam needs some asking the important questions.
Yeah, I know what I was up to in Norfolk, but what are they up to in Kent?
Was it finding a wife?
Yeah, I stole a Norfolk blocker and brought her back and naturalised her, and she nearly made a World Cup, but just first reserve. But,
still a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. She speaks better Welsh than I do, so... So 60-point game after that 12-0 jam to Kent. So still over a quarter of a game left to go.
Yeah. 16:49 on the clock. We've got Thembo Partikiller and Skate Winslet. Thembo being recycled by TC as Skate gets through as lead. Great choice by Thembo. Helmet cover immediately coming off.
Haven't seen many star passes in this game, I don't think.
It was really great this morning, seeing, as the game progressed, seeing 7 Roller Torrent really beginning to capitalise on those star passes. It's just a great idea, and it did help to kind of hemorrhage the points they were losing to Manchester, because they didn't want to give away the opportunity to score.
I mean, it is a great tactic. Like, if you haven't got a lead, just whip the star off, so you know their attention is at least distracted towards the pivot, and you can try and get out. I was one of the games I was covering earlier. I think we had 50% of the jams we had a star pass in.
Wow.
So, and my brain is gone. I can't remember what game it was. It was on track one of the WFTDA Tier 3 quarterfinals. But there's Charlie with lead. I mean, it looks like Kent have weathered that Brummies storm, which we had a few jams ago.
Yeah.
Quite well, only shipping 4 points in those 3 jams, and then when they get lead, they put 12 and 8 up, and you know, that's been the difference between the two sides in the second half. But like I say, it doesn't help that Brummies have had quite a few jammer penalties.
It's that penalty spiral.
Oh, Brute is trying to help Charlie out quite successfully. Takes out half of the Brummies wall there.
Ripper did manage to get through and was approaching for a scoring pass. However, Charlie, of course, in control, opts to call the jam, preventing the possibility of points.
So only 3 points on that pass for Kent. We have, I believe, is that Skate Winslet? No, it's Tiggs. Up against Tato.
Yeah, really valid point here as we go into an official timeout. Really valid point made from Duke. Brummies are effectively down 2 jammers. Obviously, we've got Dodge out
Yes.
after the ejection, and Matt Demon is on 6 penalties. So
they'll use him sparingly.
Yeah, it would be a tactical decision to play him, and obviously his bench team is going to know when is the right time to do that.
Especially as we know Kent like to run it when Tiggs and Skate Winslet are on track, so that's more time on track, more danger of penalties.
Yeah, of course.
So it looks like the onus is on Tato and Thembo for the time being.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Biggs jam again.
Maybe. Biggs is on track. No.
We know he's such a fan of it. Biggs loves jamming. Ask anyone.
I think it's like Herbs jam.
So. If there's anyone who loves jamming more than Biggs, it's Herbs.
So Tiggs straight into lead. Tato hits the deck. And it's through for 4 points.
Brummies are doing some great solo blocking, but they really need to try and come together, maintain that wall. See, like George, really great takeoff there. Slowing down Tiggs, but needs to try and stay with his walk.
I mean, he could be the best seller blocker in the world, but there is a lot of space out there for the jammers to exploit. And, you know, Tiggs loves a little slalom, doesn't he?
It's the nature of the jammer. to have that footwork in their pocket and be able to kind of have that manoeuvrability. Timeout called by the Brummies.
So in the meantime, Kent have reached the double century point, 204 to 122. So big gap opening up now with 13 minutes left on the clock. Not what we expected after the final jam of the first half.
No, absolutely not. That first half was really snug. Lots of back and forth. And now the Brummies have been scoreless for 5 jams.
Wow. So it's been a while since they've had a jammer penalty. I'll probably curse it now. But I think that probably is what the difference is between the two teams, is the jammer penalties has just allowed Kent to get ahead of steam and put a big differential on the board. But, you know, it could swing the opposite way. You never know. Kent might get a few jammer penalties and then the Brummies will fight back. But it needs to happen soon if it's going to happen. So Thembo up against Skate Winslet.
So interestingly, according to Flat Track Stats, rankings correct as of 7th of September, Brummies are ranked 37th and Kent are ranked 40th. So very close in the rankings, which speaks, of course, to what we've seen so far. Skate Winslet is our lead jammer in this one. Coming through now on a scoring pass. Does manage to get around that 3 wall.
So interestingly, on the point of Flat Track Stats, Flat Track Stats predicted a win for the Brummies in this game. They were 62% to 38%. So yeah, Flat Track Stats throughout the day has actually been quite correct in its suggestions. It predicted a Wiltshire would beat Rebellion narrowly. So, but yeah,
possibly not quite as narrowly as they did.
Well, no. But sorry, I've just spoiled the Wiltshire Rebellion game for anyone who I told to go back and watch it. But still, go back and watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I was announcing on the other track, but just the noise I could hear, I'm absolutely going to go back and watch it, even though I know how it ends. We've got a fresh jam on track. We do have a pack advantage to the Brummies. Bullseye is in the box from the previous jam. We are 30 seconds into the jam with no lead as yet. And of course, as I say it, Charlie gets through.
That's probably the longest Charlie has been held in the pack.
Yeah, we were reaching up to like 40 seconds there. She is already round on a scoring pass though, and she dropped super low to get around the hips, not only of Herbs but also of Biggs.
So the moral is, do not give Charlie a run up. Charlie will punish you. Wow, just okay. just
no space for Charlie.
That's just, spin, ducking, diving, dodging.
All right, there, Patches. Patches don't need some.
I bet you can dodge a wrench.
So we have K-Train standing in the penalty box and Bullseye seated once again. That's back-to-back penalties for him. So we've got 2 blockers on the box for Kent, having a bit of a huddle on the jam line with Tiggs. And what briefly felt like, looking at it, far too many blockers on track for Brummies, but I think that's because there's just 2 blockers for Kent. Although we did have too many blockers on track in the last game.
Oh, really?
I believe Kings fielded a full pack, but they also had one in the box.
Looks like the referee's gone over to the Kent bench. Is something happening there? The Kent jammer has disappeared from the jam line.
Oh.
In fact, Charlie's heading to the penalty box, so it will be a power jam start to the Brummies with a 2-blocker advantage as well. Darth Tato is standing with hands on hips, contemplating his good fortune. But can he take advantage of the good fortune?
We can but hope. I've just got a little fun fact for you as we get into this next jam. While he's not at playoffs, if you know the Brummies, you'll know Bad Daddy Yan. Bad Daddy Yan skated in the very first open door men's roller derby game back in 2009. I retract my previous comment that I'm derby old.
Well, there's Derby old and then there's Yan.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, all right.
Maybe Yan is actually Derby God.
It's Yan patient zero. from Yan, all Derby comes.
It's a shame he's not here today. Lovely character.
Yes,
Yan.
great guy. Somebody else who's doing great things is Kent. Minimal people, great penalty kill. Darth Tato is out as lead. However, Charlie is out of the penalty box. Star was briefly stashed, got through. Tato has completed a scoring pass.
Oh, did Charlie pick up some points there?
I was going to say, did Tato call quick enough?
1
No.
point for Charlie. So again, from a power jam and a 2-blocker differential, to only have 6 points against you, I'll take that.
Yeah, that is the first time that the Brummies have scored in 7 jams.
Oh, wow. And Matt Demon out. Only 1 penalty left on his card, so it's a bold strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Connor. Of course, penalty sheets do not need to be filled.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ideally, we don't want to. In fact, Chief is out there on track. I think it's the first time we've seen Chief in this game. So it's a lead there. 2 Tiggs and Matt Demon out, picking up points now. What will Tiggs do? Will Tiggs try and run it and hope that he can draw a penalty against Matt Demon, or?
No, it's
a change in tactics. When they're miles ahead, they don't feel like running for jams anymore. So.
Potentially looking to protect that points differential for rankings and such. Because this, presumably, this game will have an impact on flat track stats rankings.
You would imagine so, yeah.
I believe this game may have an impact on their MRDA rankings. Obviously, we'll have to wait to see that for the next quarter.
Yes.
That's going to be a 4-arm penalty assessed to Skate Winslet. So Thembo is now on a power jam situation, but we've got a blocker down for the Brummies with Herbs having a seat. So it's not exactly where you want to be as a jammer. Although Besky Drop is now taking a seat as well. So just the 3 blockers on track for Kent.
Still holding Thembo in that wall. Oh no, Thembo does have lead.
Yeah, they just squeaked out to get lead, but did get reabsorbed into the pack. And now they fully exited.
Skate Winslet returning to the fray. And is just held up there by Mr. Hazard. Showing his fancy moves. Mr. Hazard actually broke his leg earlier in the year. This is, I think, his first game back.
I think you may be correct. Yeah, really nice to see him back on track as well. I believe this might be Thembo's first game back as well.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware. Thembo, of course, our social media guru for these playoffs as well.
just
So talented.
so many people, so many jobs.
Yeah, I'm not even good at one thing, and yet all these people.
You're
Well,
good at this.
you're carrying me. Let's face it. Yeah. Let's just do that for a minute. That's 5.5 minutes. Yeah. So we got just Charlie against the Ripper.
I don't know why, but you said just Charlie, and all I could think was the. I'll tell you later. Nobody wants to hear about this. We have had a star pass. Kazad of Doom now in possession of the star, pushing against that wall. K-Train going to take a seat for a multiplayer block. And that is a nice wall.
You said they needed to get together, and they're listening to you, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, does it count as coaching from the microphone this far away? I hope not, because that wasn't my intention.
Well, you're just going to face the consequences of your actions, but hopefully not. So we have a star pass? Yeah, I believe. Yeah, Kazadum.
Yeah.
Yes. And how as I say that, I'm sure I remember you saying it.
It's been a long day.
I knew that information was in my head for some reason.
It's like, I'm sure I've heard this before. So, as well as we mentioned before, Matt Damon sitting on 6 penalties. Skate Winslet is now on 5. So we've got people creeping into the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Thank you.
4 minutes left. Yeah, I think we can get without a foul out. That's my bold prediction. 3 foul outs later. So Tiggs with a lead jammer for.
Nope, that is a cut.
Oh, how many penalties has Tiggs got? Nah, not enough to foul out. We're good.
Sorry, that just puts them on 4. It's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try.
No, my
really
mistake.
hard.
Sorry, 3. I was looking at somebody else.
So Tato takes lead for the Brummies.
With a little help from one of his blockers who shoved him through the pack. It's perfectly legal to shove your friends. You can't just shove the opposition.
You can do what you want to your own teammates.
Except cut them.
Well, yeah.
Like on track.
Yeah. You can back block them, forearms and whatever, you know. It's all good. Takes his back, sneaks up the inside line, but just. No, I thought he put a foot out there, but not. So. Seti ref shouting, call it, and call it. They do.
It's going to be the full 4. And 4 unanswered points, which is always nice.
It's been a while since they've shut Kent down to 0 points, I think.
We're getting the nod.
Here is Matt Damon up against Charlie. I don't know what Charlie makes you think of, but I just think of Charlie the Unicorn. Hey, Charlie. Candy Mountain, Charlie.
My memory is older than that.
Oh, wow.
I'll do it between jams, it's fine.
Okay.
So Matt Damon looking for the spaces. Charlie currently caught up with that 3 wall at the front. Matt Damon getting ping-ponged around by those blockers. Oh, that was beautiful. Not sure who got lead, though.
I believe it is
Charlie.
Charlie, yes.
Near photo finish.
Matt Damon with a little apex up there. Haven't hoisted the jammers put up. Is that a 0-0 jam? Oh, no, 4 points have been assessed to Matt Damon now.
And perhaps none for 2?
Oh, 2.
Oh, that's nice. So it's. Do you remember the adverts where it's really weird animation, but the kid.
Charlie says.
Yeah, Charlie says that I shouldn't play with fireworks, and yeah, That's what it made me think. Every time you say Charlie, I'm like, Charlie says.
I thought you were going to say Charlie bit my finger.
No, that's what the Charlies reminded me of. The weird safety cap.
So the star pass has gone to Shift there.
First star of the game for Shift. Bullseye taking a seat in the penalty box.
Charlie says don't go to the penalty box if you're the jammer, otherwise you can't score any points.
I like it a lot.
Anyway.
Bringing it to the moment.
Exactly, so there's 20 seconds left on the period clock, 1 minute left in the jam clock, so this may well be the last action of the game and the day. So I think
of course, yeah, this is our last game of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think it is always a power jam, so it's power jam to the Brummies, Tiggs heading into the penalty box. So we will have the full 2 minutes of this jam, which is only 48 seconds left.
Yeah.
I say only, I'm not out there skating in it, so...
No. Yeah.
I can be dismissive.
We're not skating in it, and we haven't just skated for the last hour.
And I believe it's the third time Swift has taken the start today, and then made to do a full 2 minutes. That's just cruelty. Cruelty to Swifts. Right.
Tiggs back on track.
Shift giving it a valiant effort there as Tiggs tries to duck under 1903. That is Calamity Jane there.
And folks, that is full time. We will wait, of course, for that official final score.
Yeah, someone might call a timeout, so we might get one more jam, who knows?
No, I think we are Dunzo, folks.
Yeah, Kent back in Tier 1.
Back in Tier 1. Brummies back down to Tier 2.
Wow.
Presto changeo.
In absence of 1 year for Kent, and they're straight back up there. So.
Yeah. Take everything they've learned in Tier 2, everything they've been building on. Brummies can take a year to reset.
Yeah.
And
they'll get to play E-Mode next year.
No.
Oh.
We are still Tier 3.
Oh, okay, wow. That wasn't deliberate coldness.
No, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. We know where we are. So your official final scores, my friends. Crash Test Brummies 146 and Kent Men's Roller Derby 237.
Wow.
What a game.
Yeah, what a game, what a day.
What a day. Yeah, day 1 of
and we have another day
Five
tomorrow.
Nations Playoffs 2025. Done and dusted.
Good night.
From us and the shrimp. See ya.